Doing great. Who's the little guy?
So, what's your name, buddy?
Lucas.
What's up, Lucas? How you doing, man?
Good.
Jets fan?
Yes.
Who's your favorite player?
Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
he's actually the reason I'm a Jets fan. So that's a long story, but I'm sure we're gonna talk about this.
Well, let's talk about it. How'd you guys become Jets fans?
Well, actually, I've been watching NFL for quite some time now. I've been remember early in the '90s when Joe Montana was fading. His last two seasons in Kansas City, I remember, and also watching playing Terrell Owens back then, and like a lot of great player. I remember the Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row. The only thing that happened back then, when I was actually living in France, is you could only see like probably 30 to 40 minutes highlights of American football. So it was kind of frustrating. And in 2009, we got this opportunity and a new job to go to New York. So we actually met a lot of friends in New York. This little man was born in 2011, and his godfather is a true Jets fan, like a diehard Jets fan. So we started to watch games. I remember with this guy in '09, the 2010 season, the 2 playoff runs actually. So this is how we became Jets fan. So yeah, it's part of the deal. So he was born in New York, and that's why we stick to this Jets family.
So you guys are in Germany now, right?
Now we're in Spain,
You're
actually.
in Spain. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Very
we're
cool.
exactly. We're in Spain, in Madrid. I'm French. Is half Spanish, half French, half American, I'd say. So he's a third of everything. So he was born in New York, raised in a little bit of France, and most of his life in Spain, actually.
So then when you started following them, they were winning a lot. So you thought this was going to be a good team to watch, right?
They were entertaining. Actually, I remember the first season I really started watching the game was 2009, and Daryl Reeves was crushing it. I remember he was playing against this very great wide receiver that season, the Randy Moss, if I remember well, and
Yep.
Terrell Owens again, and Megatron also, if I remember well.
Yep.
So and the guy was like a beast, covering everyone, and there was no way. So I started really to pay attention because of Reeves, I'd say, and obviously the first playoff run and the second one with this huge win against the Patriots in Foxborough. What a great memory. So yeah, it's had a lot of fun with this team back then. It's been miserable since then. Uh,
Nice,
but,
nice transition.
yeah, but I got to be honest. We even like this, we decided to stick with the Jets. That's what we do. It's just you don't switch from one team to another just because they're not that good. I mean, it's just for me, like watching the Jets game on Sunday. It's a great moment. It's like when the season is in and when we can start watching these guys. It's good. It's a good feeling. It's miserable on Monday usually, but still, I'm having a lot of fun watching the Jets.
Does Lucas like Sam Darnold?
Yes. A little bit.
So what's wrong with Sam Darnold? Is he good or not?
A little bit. But I prefer Jamal Adams because he attacks better.
Right, defense better.
Yes, me too.
That's outstanding. Okay, Kev.
I was just gonna ask, what were some of your early memories from those playoff runs? Any favorite players that you have from that time that you really look back and you
Yeah.
enjoyed watching?
I always has well, I think one of the player I loved the most was probably David Harris. Actually, that great linebacker. I think it was very inspirational for the rest of the team. Very humble, hard worker. Never, a word higher than the other. I think he was a great, quiet leader. So it was one of my favorites. Obviously, Reeves was the real deal. I remember Coachery in '09 was great. And then the soul line was kind of magic. I wish Darnold had that right now. I mean, the Reeves, the Mangold, the Damien Woody, break. I mean, that was really solid line. So yeah, quite a few good memory of players. And my best memory as a Jets fan is probably a game I attended in September 11, the 10 years anniversary against the Cowboys.
I was there for that too. Yeah.
Oh my God, the crowd went crazy. The crowd went. I mean, honestly, it was magic. This fourth quarter comeback late rally, this block punt from Joe McKnight, right?
Yeah,
Was
yeah,
the
McKnight.
name of this guy. Wow. I just remember it was filled with Dallas fans actually in MetLife Stadium, but still, I mean, it was great. And this is my best memory by far. By far.
Yeah, Kevin and I are both there. That night was amazing. It was just so thankfully they came back and won the game, which made it even more special. Now, what do you think about this current team, man? Last year was a rough year, but are you encouraged about this year?
I don't know. It's a little bit of mixed feeling. I think last year was a product of, I'd say, a very easy schedule. We didn't play too much tough games, and so I think this 7-9 is not really what this team really is. That said, I think, I mean, we have a core group of very, very nice players that still need to improve a lot, but also a lot of holes in this roster. So I'm sure probably when we talk about the draft and, what the holes have been filled during also free agency, but my feeling around this team is it's still probably below average, let's face it. So I'm not wearing the Jets with the pink glasses always. It's like, I think I'm a very honest Jets fan. So I know what this team is. It's improving. I think what Joe Douglas is doing now that is the GM of this team is probably trending towards the right direction. But after so many years of misery, I think, I mean, let's face it, we're still in rebuilding mode and probably need to wait one more year to have a winning record. At least that's what I think.
Do you have a lot of confidence in Adam Gase to, kind of get them over that hump?
Not really. Not really. But I mean, for many reasons, because I don't think he's a leader of men, first. And he's not really inspirational again. So I think he's been very lucky. He had Peyton Manning back in his days in Denver. So obviously his winning record is probably not as accurate as it should be. I don't think he's playing actually Darnold to hold his potential. If Sam is a good player out of the pocket and is good rolling right, rolling left, I think he's a more mobile quarterback than most people think, and he's athletic enough to make good plays. Why do you stick with this player always in the pocket? That's what I don't understand. And again, it's probably above my pay grade, and I'm not a coach, and I don't want to be like this. I know better than the coach. It's just from the little that I know from this game. I don't think so. But from the little that I know, I my 2 cents again is he's not playing the guy to his potential. And then I don't think something really special in his strategy and scheme. Well, when I'm watching the game, honestly, it's not. I mean, when I see, I don't know, like Pete Carroll or when I see Andy Reid, I know their identity. I know what they're doing. When I see Adam Gase, I don't know you guys, but in my opinion, I don't know what we're doing. And we have so many, at least quite good players. I'm thinking Le'Veon Bell, clearly not really good, not well utilized, sorry, or Ty Montgomery. I was expecting like these 2 running back sets with probably 2 of them playing more in the passing game, and that never happened. So I really didn't understand what happened last year, and I don't get this Gase identity actually. So I don't know what you think, obviously. But
I mean, we're both not the biggest of fans of Gase either. Just we thought they should have played better. The offense should have been better. But what do you think about the wide receivers right now? They've lost Robbie Anderson. They brought in Perryman. They have, Mims they drafted. Are they better? Are they worse?
So I think losing Robbie is definitely not a good thing. I mean, if you think, if I remember well about the contract, he signed for what, 12 million with the
2 years, 20 with
right?
12 in the first year. Yep.
I mean, and we have Perryman for what, 10 million or 8 million. So I think it's a mistake, especially because he had at least a good chemistry with Sam Darnold. So I think we've lost in this transaction, honestly. I don't see Perryman as a good replacement, to be honest, of Robbie Anderson. From what I saw and what I remember from him back in the days with the Ravens, nothing to be like really craving about this player. And okay, a few flashes here and there last year, like probably 4 or 5 games at the end of the season. but nothing to be like really wow. So to me, I think the receiving core is really, really thin at the moment. So I don't know what Mims is going to be. So again, I'm not a really good college follower, so probably haven't watched enough of Mims. From what I'm hearing, is probably, or we're hoping, is going to be the next AJ Green. If it becomes the next AJ Green, well, that's probably going to be a good one. But probably also better than me. You never know how it pans out with rookie players. So I think our wide receiver core is probably worse than last year. So what are we expecting? Braxton Berrios and Vincent Smith to be what, or wide receiver 2, and who's the real legit number 1? Jamison Crowder as a slot receiver. So I'm a bit worried about that, and I don't think Sam has enough weapon to build confidence and to make the step that we as Jets fans are expecting from him. So I have high hopes for Darnold if actually we're using Bell in the passing game as we should. If Herndon is healthy an entire season and still is the player that we saw during his rookie season, and if again Mims reveals himself to be like the true number 1 we have, plus Jamison Crowder as a slot receiver. If everything and again the stars align like this, we might be good. But again, I think it's a little bit delusional to think that this is going to happen, honestly. I wondered why we didn't trade for a wide receiver. Well, we should have tried something at least.
Very well said. We've been saying this for weeks. I mean, we like a lot of the things that Joe Douglas did. He prioritized the offensive line. You're getting Herndon back, and you're going to be able to pair him with Ryan Griffin, who had a solid year last year. Yep. So you have some weapons to work with on offense. But the fact that they didn't get 2 receivers in the draft, or even try to trade for somebody, like you said, I think that's the only thing that has a lot of fans kind of saying, you got to give your quarterback the most possible weapons to work with. The Bills are doing it with Josh Allen. You look around the league, a lot of young quarterbacks, they've got plenty of weapons. That's what they're doing. You're trying to get them as many weapons as possible. And you look around at the Jets right now, who do they really have? If one guy goes down, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah. And if you see the Chargers, for example, the Rams, I remember when they surrounded Goff with all this talent, especially when he's in the rookie contracts, you got to max this out. I mean, just make sure that you take advantage of this salary cap and steal a decent salary to manage with your rookie quarterback to build around him. So again, I think there was way too many holes in this roster to fill everything at the same time. So it's probably going to be like an average year again. And let's hope for the best for the year after. At least that's what we hope for here.
What are your thoughts on Jamal Adams and this whole contract saga? Would you give him that mega contract?
Well,
I know Lucas would. Lucas is going to pay him. I can see that already.
You would give him this contract.
Blank check.
Actually, I don't care what position is when it comes to the game. I mean, if you have a good player, you got to stick with this player. And I don't think there is a better player in our roster actually than Jamal Adams. So if he is the man, pay the man. Actually, if you think about our defense last year. Without him, we probably would have like 8 or 9 less sacks. So we need to value everything he can do. So he's quite good in coverage, very good in the box, obviously, great tackler, and he's a huge inspiration for the team. So I think he's the tone setter. He's what actually defines a true safety in this new era in the NFL. So he's strong, he's smart, he's quick, and he's tough as nails. So why wouldn't you pay the guy? Actually, that's probably more the question we should all ask to ourselves. Why wouldn't we pay him?
I don't have an answer, but the people that don't want to pay him seem to say, oh, well, he's just a safety. Other than that, I mean, I don't know what other explanation you can really give. You have the money to spend. You have over $100 million in cap space. I don't know where that money's going to go. So why not pay one of your best players? It seems simple.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it. So what are your expectations for this season? Like right now, it's like the draft is over, free agency for the most part's over. They'll probably make a couple more moves, but are you thinking this is a team that can win the AFC East, or you're thinking it's kind of like a 6-7 win team? Like,
I think the upper under is probably, so I'd say, I think it's a 7-9 team. If, again, stars aligned, we're probably going to be a 9-7 team, but I'd rather bet on the below, actually. So I think we're still a 7-9 team. And I don't think we're good enough to make a playoff push for this year. That's my 2 cents. Again, if everything aligns correctly, and if this O line is actually it's an improved O line, is doing at least the work, and gives Sam a little bit more time to find the right receiver, and if we can stabilize a run game, well, maybe we're 9-7. So I think a lot depends really on the O line and this improvement, and again also, as we discussed earlier, what's going to happen with Herndon this year. How is Bell be utilized in the passing game, and what's going to happen with the development of Mims, I'd say. So to me, these are the key. So if the O-line does well, if our receivers and our rookie are developing okay, well, maybe we have a chance to be a 9-7. But honestly, and I'm sure most of Jets fans probably think as I do, we're probably more in 7-9 team.
So what if they go 7-9? Like, what would be the standard for Adam Gase to keep his job? Like, what do you need to see out of this team for him to say, okay, you know what, he did a good job this year, we're good?
I wouldn't understand Gase keeping his job, actually, under no circumstances, actually, because honestly, and again, I'm just a European fan, far from everything that's happening there. I mean, I'm obviously reading a lot and watching a lot and trying to be up to date as much as possible, but I don't think he's a fit for this culture. He's not a true leader. He's not inspiring his players. From everything I've learned from him, and wherever he went, always had trouble, issues with other players on the team, and also with his staff. So to me, he's probably more the coach that will throw players under the bus if stuff are going wrong. So I'm not here to bash anyone. That's not my job to do. I'm just a simple fan. But
that's our job.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy with the product I'm seeing. I'm not happy with how this team is trending. And I actually never liked the signing of Adam Gase. I thought Bieniemy was probably a better fit for the team. Or, we all hope for, I don't remember his name, Matt Rule, actually, of course.
McCarthy, yeah.
I don't know if McCarthy was actually the NFL we want right now, but at least Bieniemy for me and Matt Rule were probably a better fit for what the team was trying to accomplish. So it's really frustrating to see Adam Gase leading these men. Honestly, to me it's frustrating, and it's again chapeau to these players because they probably have to handle and swallow a lot.
If Sam Darnold plays well, but they still only win 7 games and the losses are more because of the defense, would that be a reason that, you'd maybe change your mind and want to keep him? Or is it still, just about wins and losses?
To me, it's much more than the development of Darnold. It's again about the mentality of the team you're building and the product you're offering to the fans. And so to the contrary, I love what Greg Williams is doing. So I know he has a lot of haters in this industry, and but I love the spirit, and I love the power, and I love the energy he's bringing to the game. It's hard to me to relate to Adam Gase. It's straight simple. It's really tough to relate to this guy. He seems very distant. I don't think is that involved really in the life of his player, and he's not close enough. At least that's what sweat and transpires for us as fans. So no matter, even if we end up with a 9-7, I wouldn't be happy with Gase continuing in the position, honestly.
So how do you guys watch the games? You got to get it like NFL Game Pass, or how do you – that's how you watch it?
Yeah. So actually, when we left the U.S. At the end of 2011, the first thing I did is Game Pass. So I know like on a yearly basis, it's got to be $200. So my first Game Pass actually was only Jets. So I would only have the subscription for the Jets game because I really didn't care about the rest. Right. So you would have only the Jets game and then the playoff, obviously. And then they just brought new packages, and you had the ability to buy the whole NFL Game Pass. So this is where you watch the game, and also following a lot of podcasts, both league-wise and then Jets-wise, and Twitter account and trying to keep up as close as possible to you guys. It's really tough to be an American football fan in Europe. It's really, really tough.
What's the time difference for you guys to watch the game? 6 hours?
Yeah, we're 6 hours ahead of you. Yeah.
Oof. Oh, so it's like 7 o'clock. The night games are rough, though. I guess the 1 o'clock games aren't too bad.
Yeah. So the Sunday games, the 1 p.m. game for you guys are really great for us.
Right.
And when it's 4:25, it's still okay. America's game is like 2:30, and Thursday night and Monday night football is like a long night of being sleep deprived, actually, just to watch the Jets.
And sometimes it's not worth it.
Most of the time,
most of the time it's not worth it, actually. Yeah. Even the Thanksgiving game, are not worth it sometimes for the Jets. So it's tough.
Have you made it out here since 2011 for any games?
Yeah. We did. Yeah, we did. I was there actually last year for the Jets Giants game.
Nice.
Good one to go to.
Oh yeah, it was a fun one. Yeah. Actually, if it's possible, I'd like to say a word for one of my good friends who lives in New York, Alberto. He's an Eagles fan, but he's also a very, very close friend. And he lost his father very recently due to this COVID thing. And is every time I'm attending actually a Jets game is always with me. So just a big shout out for him. So yeah, we're trying to go as much as possible. Obviously, it's tough. It's really far from where we live. But I think we live, we breathe. We have this green blood in our veins. So I truly consider myself like a really diehard Jets fan.
No, this is awesome. Now, does Lucas yell at the TV and stuff and get into it? What does he do?
So what do you do when you watch games? Do you yell? Yeah, right? Yes.
Does he have a touchdown dance? They don't score many, but they have a little dance for touchdowns?
we have a special celebration, actually.
Uh-oh. We got to see this.
Right. Yeah, let's do our celebration. You ready? Okay, so how is it?
This is awesome.
There we go.
That's awesome.
So this is our touchdown celebration, actually.
So you do it like once a game.
Yeah.
If that.
I mean, remember, I've watched Hackenberg, I've watched McIlroy, I've watched a lot of really, really, really bad quarterback.
Yep.
It's been tough. I mean, even some of them told me that Geno Smith would be the answer, just like Allen Iverson was.
That was me.
Oh, you did that?
I was one of those guys that believed in Geno. I'm not gonna lie.
I did too for a little bit.
You couldn't know. I mean, he went 8-8 with Rex Ryan, which was great still. But
yeah, no, I was a Sanchez guy. I love Mark Sanchez, and I like Geno too. I supported Geno early on, and then it just went off the rails. But I thought he had talent. What do I know?
I think probably the worst thing to happen for us was Mark Sanchez not panning out as we wanted to. Yeah. He was supposed to be our superstar. He was supposed to take all the Jets fan out of our misery, and obviously, that derailed also pretty bad.
Well, go ahead. Well, I still blame the organization a lot for that, just with how much talent they took away from him, replacing Damian Woody with Wayne Hunter, and, when Faneca left, and they just didn't give him any. Yeah, Derek Mason, Plaxico Burress over Braylon. They just didn't replace any of the weapons that they lost, and really it was just downhill from him for there.
Actually, did Plaxico had a good game once, except this Dallas game we went to on September 11th.
Yeah, he had some good moments in the red zone. Other than that, between the 20s, he really didn't do much. Yeah.
That's so funny. That's so funny how you have like excellent knowledge, man. That's so great.
It's passion for me, and we discussed. This young one is a soccer player, and we're also. He's really into soccer, so I think his heart is balancing between NFL and soccer. So we always say here in Spain, it's like us against the world. No one understands really what football means and what it is to our life. I'm really being honest with you. My Mondays are terrible. My Monday morning when I'm going to work after it's one loss after another every Sunday, and I'm like, this is freaking crap. This is crap. My Mondays are so awful because my just not winning. And, my colleagues know that I'm a true Jets fan. So they're like starting to make fun of me. They don't understand the game, obviously, but it's just like, hey, I know your team lost again because I saw your Twitter account. I was like, yeah, I know. Don't need to remind me, Yep. And then I've been living under this. There's a lot of bandwagon fans, because the Patriots were winning. Everybody wanted to be a Patriots fan. So when you live in the AFC East for like so long and also having these like delusional and dumb fans coming at you saying, how are you so bad? And look at my Patriots. And I was like, please, come on, give me a break. Give me a break. So it's tough. It is really tough.
What's the party going to be like for Lucas's first playoff game if we ever get there?
I don't know, but we're probably going to be throwing a very, very nice party once we are coming back to the playoff. Actually, yeah, we'll do that definitely. Yeah, we will. He never went to a Jets game with me at MetLife. I have to confess that 2 years ago we were in New York actually in September, and the only game that was available. I'm sorry, I never said that, but was a Giants Jaguars game. So we went, the two of us, to the game. We're rooting for the Jaguars, but we don't like Bortles. We don't like the Jaguars, but it was just, again, it was Lucas and I against the world once again. And I wanted him to be like at the MetLife Stadium where the Jets are normally and explaining how it is and how it feels, at least, to be in the stadium. But next time it's going to be with me.
So he does the Jets chant and stuff too, right? He does all the Jet chant and everything?
Of course. How do we do that? Jets. Jets.
Nice.
So what's a lot of people are going to watch this. What's the best way for everybody to follow you if they want to follow you on Twitter or everywhere else?
Actually, probably only Twitter.
Okay.
And I have a Twitter account probably only for Jet stuff. So a little bit of my work stuff and the rest is only Jet. So if people want to follow me, would be Twitter. So it's Matthieu_Palisson.
Okay.
And this is where you will see all my thoughts, everything I think about the Jets. Most of the time, it's a little bit of F word here and there, cursing and not being happy.
You'll fit right in.
Yeah, I think, we all live in the same world, I guess. So.
Sure. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for your time. We really appreciate it. We got to do this again, man. We get updates from you guys. We want to hear Lucas's report.
That'd be, anytime. I mean, that'd be great. Would be definitely happy to come back with you guys. It's been great. I mean, the little man was ecstatic all day. It was like, hey, we're going to talk to some people that are related to the Jets and it's got to be radio. And I was like, yeah, it's got to be really fun. It's got to be
we'll definitely do this again, man. This was awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us. It's been our pleasure.
No problem.
Have a good day. Definitely appreciate it.
Take good care, guys.
Bye-bye.
You too. Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.